shift. Now, in the recent assembly elections, Gupta had clinched victory from Shalimar Bagh to end the Aam Aadmi Party's 12-year-old stronghold in the constituency. She is now Delhi's fourth BJP chief minister, following the footsteps of Madanlal Khurana, Sahib Singh Verma and Sushma Swaraj. Notably, Rekha Gupta is the only female chief minister in any NDA-ruled state today, and Delhi's fourth woman chief minister after Sushma Swaraj, Sheila Dikshit and Atishi. A seasoned politician, she has previously served as the DUSU president and a civic body councillor. Last evening, she met Delhi's Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena to formally stake a claim to form the government. Accompanied by senior BJP leaders Ravi Shankar Prasad, O.P. Dhankar and Delhi's BJP president Virendra Sachdeva, Rekha Gupta is now set to take charge of Delhi's political reins. Those are, of course, live visuals coming in at this point from the Ramlila Maidan, where in a short while from now she will be sworn in as Delhi's next chief minister, the first BJP chief minister in 27 years here. We will, of course, be getting you there. You see on the live visuals here, Rajnath Singh, the defense minister, has just come. Now, keep in mind, this is also being seen as a big show of strength by the NDA, because you see chief ministers of all NDA states. There you see Devendra Fadnavis along with his two deputies, Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar, also greeting Rajnath Singh. Similarly, you've also seen Pawan Kalyan, who's the deputy chief minister of Andhra Pradesh, Chandrababu Naidu, who's the chief minister of Andhra Pradesh, all there at the Ramlila Maidan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah are also set to arrive shortly. Now, we expect as well the oath ceremony to be taking place shortly after 12:30 p.m. And that is when we expect Rekha Gupta with a cabinet of 6 ministers. Keep in mind that Delhi can only have a total cabinet of 7 ministers, given that it has to be 10% of the strength of the assembly. So Rekha Gupta plus 6 other cabinet ministers will be taking oath here. We have spoken, of course, to the woman of the hour. Rekha Gupta had spoken earlier to my colleague Nikhil. Let's listen into what she had to say.
जी, आपको सबसे पहले बहुत बहुत बधाई। आप चौथी महिला मुख्यमंत्री बनने वाली हैं। क्या कुछ ख्याल लेके आज रामलीला मैदान जाएंगी आप?
आज रामलीला मैदान में जब मुख्यमंत्री के तौर पे मैं शपथ लूँगी, मुझे लगता है कि ये देश की आधी आबादी सभी महिलाओं के लिए बड़े गर्व का क्षण है। मैंने देखा जहाँ जहाँ मैं गई, बहनें मुझसे जुड़ी, उन्हें ऐसा लगा कि जैसे रेखा मुख्यमंत्री नहीं बनी, वो स्वयं बन गई हैं। और इसके लिए मैं देश के प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय मोदी जी का दिल की गहराई से धन्यवाद देती हूँ कि उन्होंने जो मौका एक साधारण परिवार की बेटी को दिया, ये अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी बात है। वुमेन लेड गवर्नमेंट ना केवल शब्दों में कहा गया, उसको यथार्थ किया गया। दिल की गहराई से आभार।
दिल्ली बड़ा राज्य है, दिल्ली पे सबकी नजरें होती हैं। आप महिला मुख्यमंत्री अब आप बनने जा रही हैं आज शपथ लेने के बाद। क्या थोड़ा सा नर्वस हैं आप जिम्मेदारी के लिए? बड़ी जिम्मेदारी।
नर्वस नहीं हूँ, क्योंकि आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का नेतृत्व जो हमारे साथ है, उसमें इतना ज़बरदस्त विज़न है, काम करने की इतनी ज़्यादा क्षमताएं हैं जो पूरे देश को चला रहे हैं। ये तो दिल्ली पहली बार भारतीय जनता पार्टी की झोली में आई है। निश्चित रूप में एक नया स्वर्णिम अध्याय दिल्ली के लिए शुरू होगा। विकसित दिल्ली, जो विज़न प्रधानमंत्री जी का, वो पूरा किया जाए।
मैं देश के प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का, माननीय अमित शाह जी का, माननीय जगप्रकाश नड्डा जी का, माननीय पांडा जी का और माननीय वीरेंद्र सचदेवा जी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं, जिन्होंने मुझे उस टीम में लिया, जो टीम दिल्ली के अंदर देश के प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी का विजन को साकार करने के लिए बनी है, जो टीम दिल्ली से गंदगी निकालने के लिए, दिल्ली में नई सड़कें लाने के लिए, दिल्ली में स्वच्छ पानी लाने के लिए, दिल्ली में स्वच्छ हवा लाने के लिए और दिल्ली को खूबसूरत और वर्ल्ड क्लास सिटी बनाने के लिए जो भारत के प्रधानमंत्री जी ने टीम बनाई है, उस टीम का हिस्सा मुझे भी एक मंत्री के रूप में दिया है। उसके लिए मैं उनका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं। हम सब के लिए मिलकर एक काम करने का मौका है, दिल्ली को वापस खूबसूरत बनाने का मौका है और हम अपनी यथाशक्ति लगाकर इस दिल्ली को बदल पाएं, ये हम सब के लिए बड़ा सौभाग्य है और मुझे भी उसमें मौका मिला है। इसके लिए मैं फिर से अपने सारे नेतृत्व का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं।
आज 27 सालों के बाद में दिल्ली में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनने जा रही है। मैं आज खास तौर पर हमारे प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का, जिनके विकास के ऊपर में दिल्ली के लोगों ने विश्वास जताया और दिल्ली के लोगों को विश्वास है कि नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में हम दिल्ली को दुनिया की सबसे सुंदर राजधानी बनाने में सफल होंगे। हमारा जो वायदा है दिल्ली से विकसित दिल्ली का, हम उसको पूरा करेंगे। हमारे मैनिफेस्टो में हर बात जो हमने बोली है हम उसको पूरा करेंगे, हम उसके लिए संकल्पबद्ध हैं। मैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी का अनुशासित कार्यकर्ता हूं और हमेशा रहूंगा और अपनी आखिरी सांस तक भारतीय जनता पार्टी में ही रहना है।
All right, so lots happening at this moment. Let me go across and also introduce my colleague Kritika, who's joining us live from the Ramlila Maidan, as we see live visuals of Amit Shah having already also arrived at the Ramlila Maidan and presumably to a rapturous spectrum. He's also being accompanied by BJP President and Health Minister JP Nadda as well. I'm also being joined by Madhva Narayan, senior journalist, who will help me break down what this means for Delhi and politics as well. Good afternoon, both of you. Kritika, coming first to you. It's, of course, a big day for the BJP in Delhi. After 27 years, they're breaking this jinx. But Rekha Gupta continues the trend of the BJP picking up chief ministers who you and me could have never expected or predicted.
Well, Mritankshu, that is one factor. However, because she won by a large margin, by over 30,000 votes from Shalimar Bagh constituency, and because she was only one of the four BJP MLAs who had won, there was an expectation or a chance that a woman chief minister could, in fact, be selected for the national capital. In fact, when we then went, Rekha Gupta was a name that even we were running for a few days, but definitely the way the announcement came in, that is something that none of us had in fact expected. Right now, well, we're showing you visuals from the Ramlila ground as well. The PM route is in place. So the visuals that we'll be able to show you is from afar. But look at the banner, the brand new banners that have been put across the city. It has the images of the Prime Minister Modi, of the BJP President JP Nadda, of the Delhi Chief Virendra Sachdeva, along with the portrait of now Rekha Gupta, the CM-elect, who will be swearing in just a short while from now. In fact, a few leaders also that we spoke to. We spoke to Mr. Kailash Gehlot earlier, and we asked him of what his interaction, his personal interaction has been. Even he did not have a lot to say, but the Mahila Morcha Karyakartas that we spoke to here at the Ramlila Maidan have referred to Rekha Gupta as their Didi, have talked about how she has been a ground leader. Even you were mentioning how she not just with BJP, but even when she was with ABVP, she served as the president. But a lot of eyes will definitely be on Rekha Gupta, considering the number of women-oriented schemes that were promised in the Sankalp Patra of the BJP. Earlier, when we were speaking to Mohan Singh Bisht, who will be coming in as the Deputy Speaker of the Delhi Legislative Assembly, he told us that even within the first cabinet meeting itself, the 2500 scheme will be launched, as well as all the CAG reports will be tabled in the Legislative Assembly, and all corruption charges will be investigated as well. Giving you a sense of the visuals.
Kritika, I'll just cut you in for a second here, just bringing our attention to our viewers that Rekha Gupta is on stage at this point. If we can boost the NATAP audio, I think, of the frame we have cut to, if possible, we can hear the applause that she's probably getting at this point.
हम सब उस समय खड़े होंगे उनके स्वागत अभिनंदन में, और उसी के साथ राष्ट्रगान भी होगा। राष्ट्रगान में हम सब लोग अपने अपने स्थान पर ही खड़े रहेंगे और उसके बाद शपथ ग्रहण समारोह आरंभ होगा। कार्यक्रम जो शपथ ग्रहण की
Rekha Gupta just arriving on stage, greeting all the dignitaries here. You see her taking blessings from the Sikh community in Delhi. She has also been greeted by her own party colleagues, by her fellow chief ministers soon, as some of them you can see on the screens. And of course, as Kritika was telling us, we are waiting for the Prime Minister to arrive. Kritika, we have been losing a video, presumably because the jammers are in place for the Prime Minister's cavalcade to arrive. So before we lose you completely, quick question here. What about the cabinet that is going to take oath with Rekha Gupta here? The key question is, will Parvesh Verma become the Deputy Chief Minister after many people had pegged him to become the Chief Minister?
But that murmur quickly died down as soon as the announcement was made. Even in her Indian interaction, she talked about how, in fact, terrorist
All right.
opportunity, the Delhi
I think we are having problems connecting to Kritika. This was again expected given the fact that the Prime Minister's cavalcade is arriving and there are generally jammers put in place as a security measure. Let me quickly take a question in from then Madhavan Narayan as well, who's been joining us at this point this afternoon to break it down. Madhavan, first and foremost, what is your assessment of the Chief Minister's pick at this point here? The BJP, of course, continuing a trend of picking up chief ministers who a lot of pundits probably wouldn't have anticipated or guessed. Again, Rekha Gupta in this case is also first-time MLA, although she's definitely has a lot of political experience behind her as well. But the selection of a woman chief minister to continue the mantle of strong women chief ministers in Delhi from Sheila Dikshit to Sushma Swaraj to Atishi, significant given how the BJP was assiduously quoting the Nari Shakti vote bank in Delhi with a slew of poll promises aimed at getting women votes.
Yeah, I think, Ritangshu, let us start ticking all the boxes. There are 10 boxes I can tick on why Rekha Gupta became the Chief Minister of Delhi. Two of them you've already mentioned. First of all is that picking people who are seemingly out of nowhere and becoming Chief Minister is not just a random act. It serves two purposes. One, it tells everybody who's the boss, and that is Narendra Modi with Amit Shah as his right-hand man. The second thing it sends down the organization of the BJP is to boost motivation in such a way that every activist or worker, I mean, today the word karyakarta has become such a part of our vocabulary that even English news channels, for reasons I won't understand, start using the word karyakarta when English words like cadres and activist and worker exist. And this is because of the kind of narrative and culture that the BJP has driven into this. So that basically means that every worker of the party says, potentially, I am a chief minister material. So that sends one message down. The second thing you've already mentioned needs no explanation, that there's a woman power emphasis. So that sends a message not just within Delhi, but across the nation that BJP supports women, but that also cleverly addresses a gap that there is no woman chief minister in BJP. And Delhi is a safe place to have it because in other states, appointing a woman chief minister, it could be a disadvantage in terms of caste politics and all. In Delhi, it's an advantage because that brings me to the caste element, the community element. The Guptas or the Vaishya community has been the backbone of even the former Jansangh, which was the BJP's predecessor. And this is a wonderful way of letting people know within the community that we haven't forgotten you. And although Delhi's politics has become too complex with the outer Delhi's Jat community, the migrants from Bihar and UP, and the middle class, everything is getting complicated. So this is a wonderful way of balancing that equation with the old loyalists of the Vaishya community. Let me also recall that Arvind Kejriwal himself positioned himself as a Vaishya when he first became chief minister. So this is a subtle way of telling, hey, we have our own Vaishya warriors too. So that is another thing. Fourth, as you rightly mentioned, she is politically talented, has been a DUSU president, Delhi University Student Union president, has been a South Delhi Municipal Corporation mayor, if I'm not mistaken, or deputy mayor. I don't know. I'm a little, she came out of the blue, so I haven't checked back on that. Then she's been a councillor who's also been a bit of a street fighter. If you look at the viral video going around about
Narayan, I'll just beg your indulgence for a second here. Just interrupting you for 10 seconds to just draw our attention to our viewers at this point to, of course, the fact that the Prime Minister has just arrived on stage. At this point, he was accompanied by the Delhi Lieutenant Governor, Mr. Vicky Saxena. And as you can see, just hearing the massive applause and the response there in the crowd at Ramlila Maidan, you get a sense of the importance of this occasion for the BJP and how they're seeing it as a massive show of strength. He has just greeted Pawan Kalyan after meeting Devendra Fadnavis and his two deputy chief ministers of Maharashtra. And let's continue to follow his progress through the dais. Meeting Chandrababu Naidu, a very key ally for the NDA, especially in the current Lok Sabha in terms of numbers being concerned. Also greeting Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, JP Nadda, and we soon expect him to greet
और आप सबसे निवेदन है कि आप सभी अपने अपने स्थान पर खड़े रहेंगे क्योंकि अब समय है।
All right, Madhavan Narayan, my apologies for having interrupted you for a second. Just had to give play-by-play commentary for what was going on. Please continue with your thoughts.
Referring to the visuals itself, it is Modi's opportunity to tell people that he's on a bull run. You know, all the NDA procession of NDA chief ministers, allies, all of them bowing before him, conveys to the average citizen that although there might be backroom negotiations and give and take, it tends to the average Indian the message that Modi is the boss even of coalition partners and regional chieftains. And so therefore that gives an imperial message to the people about Modi as a modern day, latter day democratic emperor. And that brings me to another point, which is that having a woman as a chief minister, and that too with both political and administrative acumen, gives a certain checkmating approach to Aam Aadmi Party, which, if you recall, has still emerged strong with 43% of the votes in the just conducted elections, with Atishi as the chief minister. And therefore, it is going to be woman against woman on Delhi's chessboard, because the way I see it is that Kejriwal is probably going to lie low for a while till some issue emerges. But it's a way of sending a message that, look, we also have our talented women, so that Atishi doesn't take the woman power thunder. So all these things put together gave Rekha a very strong presence. But last but not the least, let me also add that Pravesh Verma was the probable candidate. But, you know, the only way to make him feel less sidelined than he is right now is to actually put a woman there, because the woman part of it takes care of a certain amount of rivalry within the senior men within the party. You know, there are heavyweights in the party. If you look at the fact that there is Vijayendra Gupta and there is, you know, apart from Parvesh Verma, there is Virendra Sachdeva. So there's a lot of men out there. So putting a woman also sends a message of consensus building, because Rekha Gupta seems to have a very interesting personality. On the one hand, she's got a certain militant sort of a image as a with a convincing grassroots power of having won by close to 30,000 votes in her MLA seat. On the other hand, she has a very smiling, amiable sort of a demeanor when she's dealing with party colleagues, a certain humility that sends a message across of consensus and facilitation. So, and of course, she's pronounced in no uncertain terms her loyalty to Prime Minister Modi. But let me also add that there's going to be an X factor in this, which is the Lieutenant Governor. The Lieutenant Governor is no longer an obstacle, but is now an opportunity, because it is absolutely no secret. The Lieutenant Governor was posing several obstacles to, you know, Kejriwal and Atishi's government under the Aam Aadmi Party. And V.K. Saxena is a member of the IAS from the Gujarat cadre, which is where Amit Shah and Modi come from. And he was supremely obstructionist in his administrative style. And now all that, he'll pull all the stops that he's been actually putting on the path of Kejriwal. And therefore, the task is all the more easier. You know, Rekha Gupta was quite candid when she said, look, I'm not nervous because I have the whole machinery of Mr. Modi backing me. And presumably, and obviously, it should include the Lieutenant Governor as an ally rather than adversary. So all that put together gives her a good start. But let me add that the agenda before the BJP is not a mean one. From cleaning up the Yamuna to freshening the foul air with pollution to promising women their monthly handouts to everything in education and without undoing, as they promised, without undoing the gains that Aam Aadmi Party had built up. So which basically means probably rebranding, as the story goes, of the Mohalla clinic as the Ayushman Mandir or something, Ayushman Bharatiya Mandir or Ayushman Ayurogya Mandir. So that kind of stuff will
BJP
happen.
has made its strategy clear on that front that it will continue a lot of the populist and the populist schemes which the Aam Aadmi Party had brought in. I think the one big change we can expect is, of course, the entry of Ayushman Bharat into the national capital, something which the BJP has been stressing for. But you mentioned an interesting point here. In the 11 days before between the BJP winning Delhi by a handsome margin, at least in terms of seats, and the announcement of Rekha Gupta as the next chief minister, it was very clear that Atishi was likely to be the Aam Aadmi Party's leader of the opposition. One, on account of the fact that she was probably the only heavyweight candidate from the Aam Aadmi Party to actually win her election. Plus, even when it came to the issue about going to the railway station, I think we'll come back. We'll hold that thought. Let's